Another year comes, another year goes. If you didn't know by now, I enjoy what some would call the art of wrestling. Sue me. And though 2022 has been quite mad in the world of fake Mortal Kombat, it's seen some of the best wrestling matches in quite some time. So, against your will, let's unwrap my favorite matches of the year. I'm Mike from Collection of Madness, and these are my top 10 favorite matches of 2022. Before we start the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video because you're a nice person. Number 10, Orange Cassidy vs. Will Ospreay, Forbidden Door. This doesn't make sense. It shouldn't make sense, yet somehow it does. Going into the cursed Forbidden Door event, I had no idea this match would be my favorite and arguably steal the show. Counter after counter, flippy stuff, comedy, and Will even found a bird in Cassidy's pocket somehow. Orange Cassidy was never supposed to work in mainstream wrestling. However, he has indeed proved his stay in the past 3 years, and I'm convinced at this point Will Ospreay will always put on a 5-star match. The chemistry these two had was superb and brought a cheeky little smile to my face. Number 9, Becky Lynch vs. Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 38. 2 nights is too many. Please stop this. Yes, this year's adaptation of the show of shows was silly. I thought quite good actually, but in the midst of it all, there was one of the best women's title matches in history of the show. With the feud properly built, the real-life accident of Bianca getting her eye kicked in and still wrestling the entire match, which is insane. It was the right time for the right title to change and the right person to put it on. After her stellar showing with Sasha at the prior Mania, Bianca is solidifying herself as the top star of the women's division in WWE. Number 8, The Acclaimed vs. Swerve in Our Glory, All Out. This hurts. Not the match. That was fantastic, but, well, you know. Everyone loves The Acclaimed, and everyone did love Swerve, and Mr. Cuddly will absolutely rip you apart Lee. Now, besides all the scissoring going on, The Acclaimed became generically over within seconds, it seems, and this match was the match they needed to show just how far they've come. Now, out of both of the team's 3 meetings, this one was still by far my favorite. The hot Chicago crowd was rallying behind the underdogs, and even though they failed to win the gold that night, the match was excellent and started their trajectory towards the top AEW tag team. Number 7, The Elite vs. Death Triangle, Full Gear. Well, sometimes things happen, and out of those things comes stuff, and out of that stuff comes gold. You might be thinking, did Mike just have a stroke? And no, I just hate mentioning anything about Brawl Out because it really makes me sad. However, this return match of the Elite was supposed to be simple. They make their triumphant return, squash the Triangle of Death, and proceed to be the Trios champs as planned. Oh, wait, what? They lose? Yes, in one of the biggest swerves of the year, Tony Khan decided to keep the belts on the current champs, not giving them back to his beloved EVPs. My goodness, this match was non-stop high-flying and had an evil twist to the end, but out of that was also born the best of 7 series, which hasn't wrapped up yet, but also hasn't disappointed, and I love me a series of matches. No one knew where this would take the Elite after that loss, but arguably it has made them even more must-see TV. Number 6, Okada vs. Jay White, Dominion. Kazuchika Okada may not be the best wrestler ever, but my goodness gracious, he sure is the most charismatic and over star in Japan. His longevity alone has proved no one is better in the world, except maybe the young lion Jay White. Jay White has been on a rampage over the last several years, and this match would undoubtedly prove to the world that he was deserving to be called one of the best. While still in the no crowd noise era of New Japan, something that would be broken throughout this match, Jay White and Kazuchika Okada tore the house down in a match that can only be described as must watch and utterly phenomenal. With the breathtaking finish, Jay White would shock the world once more, defeating Okada and becoming the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in the main event. Number 5, MJF vs. CM Punk, Revolution. Well, this hurts my heart. CM Punk returning to wrestling, specifically AEW, made myself and many others rejoice, especially for dream matches just as this. And unfortunately, it looks like we'll only get one CM Punk vs. MJF match on an AEW pay-per-view, which again makes Mike sad. Now, I don't normally enjoy dog collar matches, just being honest here, but these two can tell a dang story story, and my gosh, did they tell a literal bloody story. Sure, at times it was tough to watch, yes, but it made every hit feel that much more real, with hate-filled strikes fueled behind each blow. In my opinion, Punk's last great PPV performance in AEW will be this match, and boy howdy, did it not disappoint. Number 4, Gunther versus Sheamus, Clash at the Castle. Two giant men doing a wrestle. Old school, hard-hitting bouts. Look, at the end of the day, are the talented high-flying moves neat? Yes, but there's something about getting back to the basics. This is the type of match that makes you think, could this possibly be real? Because that man just chopped the out of that man, and I think may have caved his chest in. In a typical Gunther match, you knew chests were going to be red. This could be debated as the match that lit a fire under the palest man in sports entertainment and made you believe for one split second he was going to capture the title that had escaped him his entire career. With the WWE returning to the UK for quite some time, hearing the roaring crowd over the Clash of the Titans was nothing short of pure sports entertainment. Number 3, FTR versus the Briscoes, Supercard of Honor. FTR can rightfully claim they've had the best 2022 in professional wrestling and most likely have etched their names as the greatest tag team of all time. Part of that reason was 3 contests between themselves and arguably the greatest indie wrestling tag team, the Hillbilly Briscoes. Yes, each bout is special in its own way, but my favorite has to be the original. An extremely loud holy chant echoes through the arena, and then it turns into boos as FTR declines the pre-match handshake, which is the code of honor. It was a historical rivalry in the making, and you could just feel that. The match itself combined old school hard-hitting and fast-paced action, seeing FTR pick up the Ring of Honor tag team titles. Number 2, Okada versus Will Ospreay, Wrestle Kingdom 16 Night 2. As mentioned earlier, Will Ospreay had an amazing 2022, multiple 5-star matches in New Japan, making his AEW debut and setting up epic stories for the next chapter. However, the first week of 2022 found the high-flying Brit land himself an IWGP heavyweight title shot against the man, Kazuchika Okada. Each competitor pulled everything out of their arsenal for this main event. Okada hit a shotgun dropkick on the apron to the knee of Ospreay, sending him crashing face first to the floor. Okada went for his flying crossbody over the guardrail, but Ospreay super kicked Okada's knee as he flew over it, crashing right to the floor. Ospreay climbed a lightning rig to dive onto Okada and hit a moonsault off the rig to the floor, which was absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, Okada nailed his signature brutal Rainmaker to retain the title in an amazing main event at Wrestle Kingdom. And number 1, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 38. Now, I know many enjoyed the Hell in a Cell bout, and with rumors of the 4th meeting coming soon, it's been a little dragged out. But hear me out here. When rumors first started flying around of Cody Rhodes leaving AEW for the dreaded Fed, I was quite an angry fella. But then the lights went down and you heard wrestling has more than one royal family, and that crowd erupted. I certainly had chills. Everything, and I mean everything, was perfect about that return entrance, from perfect scores of the song matching him coming out of the Cody Vader to the full ridiculous Homelander outfit to what I believe is an underrated ring announcement by Mike Romero. Just sent chills down my spine. The match itself was excellent and has shown how Cody Rhodes was always a main event player. Plus, following him from his WWE release to basically taking over the indies and starting my favorite wrestling promotion in AEW had made this journey back so much more emotional. And that's our list. Don't forget to check out more great content on the channel and let us know in the comments below what your favorite matches of the year were. Merry Christmas, I think.